and welcome back to my channel. Angie here as always, and I have some very interesting story to tell. I don't know if you guys have ever seen on Facebook some kind of ad that says free real estate seminar. If you have ever been even remotely curious about what these companies are about, stay tuned. So let's take you guys back a little bit into the history of Angie Alexa. My partner and I, we actually went to one of these free seminars. I want to say it's probably been a few years, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. We were pretty young and we went to these free real estate investing seminars because we were always very interested in investing in real estate. We got to the seminar and today I've noticed that they were briefly speaking on a 3-day event that was going to take place in Anaheim. They were just sharing information, very briefly sharing information about certain topics that we're going to be covering. And of course, they kind of leave you in a cliffhanger, right? So you want to sign up. So we signed up, and in order for you to proceed, you had to not only sign up and register, but you also had to pay an additional $350 or something like that. We went to the 3-day event, which took place in Anaheim at the time, and we got there. There was a lot of great information, but by the end of the seminar, they were pitching for us to sign up for the additional course that they had. Now, the additional course had even more information on the things that they kind of talked about, and again, left us on a cliffhanger. So of course we wanted to sign up for these educational courses that they had in place for us. We wanted to keep learning, and we wanted to go all in at this point. And can't believe I'm going to be sharing this with you guys, but in order to sign up and register for that, you actually had to pay $10,000. And at the time, I already mentioned I was young, so of course I wasn't making a whole lot of money. I was just starting my massage therapy career, and we were always interested, like I said, in real estate investing. So we saw that there was an opportunity in place. I sold my car, I got a loan, we asked for money, we did whatever it took to just get to the seminar. And I think I even dipped into savings, quite honestly. So we paid the $10,000 later. And keep in mind, $10,000 I think was their minimum. And I'm not sure, but they definitely had different levels and different scales on how much you were basically willing to go all in for. And $10,000 later, we get the courses. They're all online, at least mine's, where I know there's many different companies, so I don't know how every company works. We did the courses online. The courses were very boring. They were helpful, but I felt like there was a lot more that we were missing. They kind of just gave us a direction, but they weren't really guiding us, if that makes any sense. Either way, I feel like they were misleading. They definitely took advantage of those that were very excited about making a career out of this, and even the ones that were most vulnerable, where they maybe couldn't afford to buy these things, like me, and I had to go all in, and they knew that I was determined by doing so, right? And lastly, I think these companies definitely, they had no support system. So once they gave you the educational courses, you could not find any sort of resource or any sort of help, or you didn't have someone to call to ask these sort of questions that you may have, or try to overcome something you were stuck on. So unfortunately, we didn't really have a coach, and that's what really sucked. So we did what we could, and one of the things that we did was called wholesale. It didn't take any money up front, which is really awesome, but it did take a lot of work. We had to cold call, we had to door knock, we did some passive marketing, and we finally came about a seller who was looking to do a quick move. The house needed some work, and she just wanted to be done because she was going through some personal stuff. She wanted to wipe her hands clean. So we got it under contract, and sold the contract to an investor who was actually able to pay cash up front. And for those of you guys who do not know what wholesaling is, this is exactly what it is. You as a wholesaler find the deal, put it under contract, and you resell the contract to an investor. It's not always easy to come about these houses, of course. They do take a lot of work, just so you know. So once we got that one sold, we made about $5,000, which is incredible. We did not expect it. It was really great. That's when we noticed we should probably get our real estate license, because we were losing so many opportunities that we came about. We spoke to a lot of homeowners, but a lot of them actually wanted to sell their house at full price. And if we were realtors at the time, it would have been something we could have took advantage of easily, right? So apart from all the negative comments I mentioned before, I do believe that I did get a lot out of it. It definitely introduced me to hard work, and it definitely meant for me to get in a different mindset so that I can be able to work like this, because I definitely, and I'm sure many of you can relate, we don't really want a cold call, we don't really want a door knock, but some of these activities are just something you're gonna have to do to generate the business you're looking for. I definitely can say another tool I got is being able to understand what investors are looking for. Another thing I got out of this was understanding what investors are looking for. And not just for my clients who are investors, but also me as a future investor. Would I recommend it? Here's the thing. If you got capital, if you got the right mindset, and you're willing to go all in, I definitely think you should pull the trigger and go. But if you don't, maybe take your time with it. And regardless of the fact whether you're ready or you're not, always educate yourself. You don't want to jump into something without being educated, because then you get excited, you get emotional, and you make emotional decisions. You want to be logical. You want to understand what they're offering, and you want to understand how much it's going to cost you. Because if you go in not ready, especially financially, it might be a financial burden, just like it was for me. So that is something I advise for you. Educate yourself, and if you're willing to go do it, make sure you choose the right company. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that was in any way helpful. So if you or a friend have ever been remotely curious about these companies, again, educate yourself. And if you have any questions, please comment down below or message me directly. I'll have my information linked in the description box below. Thanks for tuning in as always, and I'll see you on the next one.